Assalamualaikum Sirau. So today I would like to present my persuasive speech, and the topic that I want to build up is child marriage should not be happening in Malaysia. What is child marriage? So child marriage is any marriage where at least one of the parties is under 18 years of age, and I want to do this persuasive speech because I want to persuade the audience regarding the child marriage issues on how can we control that issues. So before I go any further, did you know that there is an evidence where children marriage is practiced in Malaysian Muslim, non-Muslim, and also refugees communities. According to published data, approximately 15 girls were married before they reached 15 years old. So many parents believe that marriage is the best answer when their children become sexually active or pregnant because they lack of inappropriate intervention support structure. Child marriage is an option that is accepted by the community's social standard. There are various interconnected variables in Malaysia that allows the practice of child marriage. So today I would like to emphasize three central ideas, which is factors that contribute to child marriage in Malaysia. The second one is the implication of child marriage, and the third one is the action that we can take to overcome the problems. So let's go. So to support my speech today, I would like to notify that I've conducted several research based on the reliable journal and articles, so that I hope that I manage to provide a useful information for everyone. So factors that contribute, so I will start with the first central idea, which is factor that contributes to child marriage in Malaysia. So the first one is poor economic conditions. So poverty is known to be a factor in early marriage. Child marriage has been linked to poor home economic condition, and a greater rate of child marriage has been observed in impoverished communities. And some parents and family are unable to keep their daughter in school because they can't afford to pay their education, and because they see no other option for their daughter future except marriage. So the second one is lack of knowledge and awareness of the issues. Girl without formal education versus girl with a secondary higher education background. So another contribution, because lack knowledge among all parties involved in the child marriage, including the girls itself, their parents, and also their future husband. And girls without a formal education are more prone than girls with a secondary a higher education to be coerced into marriage at young age. And if parents are more educated, they will be aware of the negative consequences that might be happen to their children, and parents will not easily ask their parents to get married at such an early age because they're already exposed with the implication that might be happen. So the last one is religious practice that is misinterpreted. So male-dominated ideology are frequently used to justify marriage before the puberty of the partner. So the next one is the implication of child marriage. There is two implications that I want to touch. The first one is social consequences, and the second one is medical consequences. For the first one, the implication of child marriage for social consequences. Okay, so the first one is affect a girl's education development, where most serious disadvantage for young girls because they marrying too soon, so they got less opportunity to get a proper education. And some families and parents withdraw their daughter out of school because they feel that if their daughter are supposed to marry and have a children, and stopping schooling prevent girls from learning crucial knowledge about life skills that are necessary in survival in today's environment, and such as knowledge needed to fully participate in their home and communities. And the second one is it will impact the child personality development. Girls who marry early and experience family disruptions and considerably lower ratings for both self-esteem and internal locus of control than girls who marry later and experience family disruption. So married girls feel incompetent and helpless due to this deficiency caused by their lack of maturity and education, as they are unable to fulfill their obligation, which include managing their household properly and raise their children properly. and this can lead a serious depression issues, and it can create a more serious issue later. So the next one is medical consequences. So for medical consequences, um, girls physically um, girls physically and psychology health, including serious health issue, complications during and after pregnancy and childbirth, are all affected by child marriage. So the first one is early sexual debut. So child marriage result in an early sexual debut where automatically extend the period of exposure to pregnancy and childbirth hazard. And according to the International Center for Research on Women, girls under the age of 15 are five times more likely than women in their 20s to die during pregnancy and also childbirth. In comparison to women aged 20 to 24, girls under the age of 18 have a higher risk of difficulties during pregnancy and delivery. And this is due to the fact that young girls have not yet attained physical maturity and their reproductive organs have not yet fully grown. So the second one is high chance of obtaining sexual transmitted disease. So there is high chance of obtaining STDs. Girls who marry early are more likely to contract STD, especially HIV and also HPV. Young girls have an increased chances of developing STD through an early marriage, according to the studies by International Federation of Gynecology and Obstetric, the International Labour Organization, the World Health Organization, and other organizations. So the third one is psychiatric and psychological illness. So married girls miss out their childhood because they cannot go out to play with other friends, or they don't get the opportunity to play, and they don't get the opportunity to make friends and develop social skill or get a proper education for themselves. This is because the negative impact on because they don't have the time, they have to focus on their family and their marriage. So this has a negative impact on their emotional, psychological development, making them feel alienated, rejected, and also depressed. So the next one is action that we can take to overcome this problem is the first one. It is critical to comprehend all the interconnected elements that lead to the practice child marriage to address this obstacle, which includes gender discrimination, poor condition, a lack of education and awareness, geographical factor, religious custom, and inadequate execution of current legislation and policy. Government and agencies will need to work closely together. It is also necessary to address the impression that child marriage is a type of protection for girls, including for their dignity and honor. Child marriage must be addressed because of the multiple harmful consequences it has for children, particularly girls. These effect vary from lost education and economic opportunities to serious physical and psychological consequences. The second one, girls must have a high quality sexual reproductive health education. So this will enable them to make informed judgment about puberty, physical encounter, and relationship, as well as lead them to explore marriage at a later or most appropriate period in their life. And the third one is children must learn accurate information about sexual and reproductive health in school. So this study literature review reveals that existing sex education programs fall short of providing children with the necessary information and assisting them in understanding sexuality. Furthermore, the majority of the participants and applicants for this study did not complete high school, forcing them to rely on questionable sources instead. And as a result, having a comprehensive sex education CSE program accompanied by a defined national rules, standards, and a specific action plan is very crucial. So that's all for the point that I want to explain. So for the conclusion, I managed to fulfill my obligation based on 3 points, which is a factor that contribute to child marriage in Malaysia. The second one is the implication of child marriage and the action that we can take to overcome this problem. So at the end of my speech, I hope that that I managed to inform my audience on the issue regarding child marriage, and that is widely happening in Malaysia, and what can we do to control the issue from happening even more near in the future. And before I end my speech, I believe Malaysia is able to educate our youngsters and create a safe environment for the children. That's all from me. Thank you.